What is going on, everybody? We are back. We are here going to talk a little bit more about drivers and getting fit because, you know, I'm still on this kind of look of, hey, something just doesn't feel right with the driver and I really have to get to the bottom of it. So this is going to be tools that I don't have. And so we're going to go head out to one of my friends, TJ Sullivan, who is over at the GolfTEC in Oak Brook, where they have some cool tools, and also they have their really cool process to be able to fit. So we're going to check out what's going on with my driver and see what's happening and why it just doesn't feel right. And then we're going to see if we can test a couple other ones just to see if we can get a little better feel and start understanding a little bit more where I need to be with my clubs. So let's head over to Oak Brook. What's going on, everybody? Scott Hogan coming at you today. I'm excited. We are here at GolfTEC Oak Brook. We're here with TJ Sullivan, PGA Master Professional, Golf Digest, Best Young Teacher, Best in State of Illinois. Also, he is the Regional Manager and the Director of Instruction here at GolfTEC in Oak Brook and the South Side. He's going to take me through a driver fitting because I've got this sub 70 and I just can't decide if I really like it. And so he said, hey, come on by and let's show you what we can do to get you the right driver in your hands. So TJ, you're gonna take us through it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see this thing.
Yeah,
absolutely. We're gonna start off by hitting a few shots, measure it, test it out, and see if we can find anything a little bit better.
Let's do it. 500 yards, right? Here we go. Oh, I can't accept that.
36 3/4, and then we'll do right palm up like this. This is just to get a general idea of hand size for grip size.
Okay, that's fine.
It's 46 inches.
What's that?
It's 46 inches.
It's actually.
Let's take a look at this.
So what are we checking here?
We're just checking the cycles per minute here just to see the actual frequency of the shaft. Just kind of get a little twang here. So we got a air compressor here. So we're actually cycling at 260. I'm just gonna do this one more time just to be sure. See, it's basically gonna tell us how stiff the shaft actually is. A lot of times they'll actually go mislabeled. I have a hard time believing that this thing is mislabeled. And we got a D0 as far as our swing weight is concerned. So enter that in over here. Let's see here. Now, I know that device said 260, but what we're gonna do, because you have this larger grip, we're just gonna add 10 frequency points to that. So it's actually gonna be at 270 here.
Okay.
And the frequency is actually at 8.4.
So it's playing like an 8.4 flex?
That is correct. Yep.
So it's super flex. Super stiff.
It is. So if we look at this little chart right here, this is what's cool. So you can actually see on the big screen right now. Your driver shaft is actually stiffer than a tour stiff. So it is stiffer than an extra stiff. Okay, so if we're having any issues as far as control or what, I'm interested to see what else we can find that might allow you to hit the golf ball a little bit straighter and miss to the left a little bit less frequently. But yeah, we'll take a look at it and see what happens, and definitely try some other stuff just to see how well we hit it.
I like to hit a draw. But.
Yep. I mean, you've played a draw pretty much your entire life, right?
Yeah, I mean, I try. That's what I see. If I'm playing good, I usually draw. A little on the bottom.
So where I want to start off with this is just kind of understanding a little bit more about what we actually want to try to do. You can see our total distance is 265 yards. Okay. So if we can do anything possible to try to increase that with how fast you're actually swinging, I would assume, or I would probably want to see that golf ball go, 275. I'm sure you probably want to hit it closer to 3, and I'm sure you have at times, right? You kind of really get a hold of one and it goes. So all of these numbers right here are actually based off of how fast you're hitting it. So at 146 average ball speed, we'd actually probably want to try to bring the backspin down, want to try to increase launch, and then that should actually decrease our descent angle and maybe kind of have that ball hit and run. Kind of like, as you said, like you want to kind of see that thing tumble. Yeah. So we'll just try a different head and see what happens.
Well, and what you said there too is once you actually tested that shaft, and it says 6.0 on the shaft, but you're testing it at 8 point something.
8.4.
Yeah, it feels like that. It doesn't feel like, it feels like a lot of work to get something out of it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay,
We'll just try
very
something.
cool. I'm gonna follow you.
And then we're gonna come over here to our Callaway shafts. And just because of what you're used to, we're gonna start off with like a lighter version, but still keep it in the X family. I don't wanna give you anything that's gonna be like too different from what you're used to.
Okay.
But we'll just see how this goes. And now this is a 45.5-inch driver, so if you don't mind just gripping down a little bit on that, it's gonna feel shorter than yours.
Yeah.
Obviously with yours being an inch longer. And you know what, now that you mentioned the fact that you actually cut that shaft down in a half inch or an inch or whatever it was, that could be one of the contributing factors to it being a little bit stiffer.
Yeah, it used to be faster.
Okay.
The face is obviously hot. Like it feels like the face is hotter. Like it just, I can tell when I hit it in the middle, which sometimes I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah. Okay. So you get some of that good feedback as soon as you strike it.
So I knew I was hitting them on the toe a couple of those, and it's like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it felt actually pretty decent.
Cool. So if we were to basically stop here and say, well, with just one club, we went from 265 to 282 total distance. Ball speed went up 4 miles an hour to 150. Backspin went down. Launch went up. Offline definitely increased. If we were to maybe take out that one shot that you hit really far left, this would be a lot better. But we're not going to stop here. I think we can actually, just try a few others. If it turns out that that is the best recommendation. Not great at math, but gaining about 15, 17 yards or so is pretty good.
Yeah, that's farther. 282 is farther than 265. So.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So let's just try something different.
All right.
Just because of how we have things going here. So admittedly, this is a 9-degree driver that I'm going to add. It's sound dampening. It's very
right.
good.
That's what I'm thinking. That was it more sound. That was better.
So here's the thing: is that it's still better than yours by overall distance, and offline was only 4 yards more than what you're used to. Obviously, only hitting it 4 or 5 times, no control over it whatsoever.
Also smaller grip.
Much smaller grip that you're not used to. So, there's a few things at play, but as far as the actual speed, that one is actually 3 miles an hour faster than the Rogue, which was already 4 miles an hour faster. So we've gained 7 miles an hour of ball speed.
And this is 10, you said?
It's a 10.5. 10.5, but extra stiff. So it's kind of that combination between the last two drivers.
Gotcha.
So if this one we went 10.5 and a little bit less stiff, I'm actually gonna go kind of give you more apples to apples here. So I'm gonna be prepared for the next one if we want to just change it.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
That one was a pretty poor. Didn't feel too bad, right? That was pretty good.
I like that last one for sure.
That one was good.
Okay, cool. So here we go. We have 3 different drivers in here. All of them perform better than what you're currently using. The one in your hand definitely went the fastest, but it was also the lowest launching and it spun a little bit more than the Callaway. So I think, as you said, like it's a combination of it's a combination of what you like looking at, what you like feeling. I don't want to sway you in any other way. Like I think what we can do is we can kind of probably tweak all 3 of these drivers and try to really hone it in. Before we do that though, I want to try this Stealth again. So what I did was I gave you a similar, more comparable shaft and gave you a more comparable loft. So as you're looking at it now, obviously we've hit 3 drivers that are better, and this one is obviously our 4th that you're hitting better. As far as look and feel of each one, without knowing the numbers, obviously I know that you are, but
yeah.
If you're just looking at like as you address it, as you swing it, how it feels, which one would you say you feel the most confident in?
I really like the Cobra, I would say.
Okay.
As far as just feel, straight feel.
Yeah. Cool. And again, if we look at the last 2 drivers, and again, like while we earlier we said like, hey, this Callaway is absolutely fantastic. If that's the leader in the clubhouse, we're doing great. But then you also have this new version of the TaylorMade, which is performing very well. 157 ball speed on average, 2,500 spin, which is a smidge high. If we can get that down to like 2,400, launch is a little low, but it's also going 293 on average. And then that Cobra, also 157 ball speed, spin was a little bit higher, launch was a little bit lower. So I think there could be some finagling done there, but you're also hitting at 286. So like, I think if you feel really comfortable with this Cobra, I'd be willing or looking forward to just trying something a little bit different. Is that okay?
Yeah, let's do it. Straight.
I got one last option after that. First one is actually the last club you hit, and this test club number 3 was the other Cobra that you hit. So that last club that you hit, you actually hit it at 159 miles an hour. You spun it still launched it a smidge low, which again, not that bad. You actually carried that one farther. And obviously our total distance is the farthest. And if our number 1 objective is hitting it farther, the really cool part about this is that you're actually hitting it straighter at 25 yards offline. So what we did tonight, if we make this last club the number 1 club for us, while yes, you are hitting it 6 yards more offline, it's also a club that you've hit 6 times, but we also gained almost 30 yards. 29 yards with this new Cobra, absolutely fantastic. So it'd be my recommendation that we go forward with something like this, and we send you on your way for the season.
All right, so that was going through a fitting here at GolfTEC. Really, really cool stuff here with TJ. I mean, it's really cool that the way you guys do it is just, flat numbers right in front of you. There's no guessing. It's like, hey, we're gonna try this. How does that compare to this? and it's right there in front of you with the major kind of things that the key factors or performance indicators you're looking at, you know, ball speed, spin, launch, the descent angle, stuff like that as you're going through. So we got 30 yards by just doing this fitting process here. So got this nice Cobra LTD-X. Gonna probably have to, I mean, I don't know how you say no to 30 yards. So we're probably gonna be ordering this one up and getting this in the bag as soon as possible. But TJ, thanks for having us out. Thanks for showing us how this process works. Everybody at home, if you haven't been fit, or if you haven't been fit in a while, or if you feel like your clubs are not where they need to be, make sure you head over to GolfTEC's website, check out Oakbrook. This is where we're at to get a fitting with TJ or all of his great staff here. But you can check out all of the GolfTEC locations near you. Again, I'll link that down below in the description. Also, make sure you check out TJ. I'm gonna link some of his stuff down below. He's got some cool stuff that he posts and stuff like that. So we'll have all that. And yeah, TJ, thank you so much for showing us how this all works.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming by, and glad we were able to get you a few extra yards, so maybe you can keep up with me.
Yeah, I doubt that. Doubt that.